Happy Monday, team. Today is going to be our kickoff to week 2, and I hope you're ready, excited, and putting into action all of the tips and strategies that you're learning to help work your business and become successful doing so. Today, the goal will be to focus on onboarding and the duplication process. Now that you've recruited your coaches and your customers, what are you going to do with them? The goal is that we're going to look at what we want to call the pre-sign up setup. So this is a conversation and a relationship that will start from the beginning once you either get your coaches started into your challenge groups or you get your challengers in your challenge groups, because we have to consider that everybody comes in first because they want to make some changes, right? So we want to consider every single person. We want to focus on quality, and we want to help people get started and immediately be engaged with the activities that will help them be successful in the long run. We want to be able to help them create a system so that it is duplicatable and they can repeat it over and over with their challengers, with their coaches, and with their future generations to come. If you've read the book by Eric Worre, Go Pro, he speaks about the duplication and creating systems and how key it is for us in this business to have those in place. So just because you've signed up a challenger or a coach and you've welcomed them into your team and you've sent them an email with the information that gets them started with their challenge pack and their fitness program, doesn't mean you end the conversation and your relationship there, or that your conversation just is going to stay within their fitness journey. You will create a relationship that will extend itself further than that. So we're going to talk about how you're going to do the pre-sign up setup. And this is how you're going to start your coaches the right way, your coaches and your challengers. And it's okay if you can go back and redo some things. I know I have learned a whole lot, even from, studying for this training. And we're all going to go over an exercise. And I did it myself. So I'm going to ask that you also participate and you complete this exercise, because it's going to help you pinpoint specific qualities, characteristics, personalities that you are looking for in your ideal coach. So when you think about who you want to have in your team, you want to be very specific, because number one, you don't want to be stressed out. You want to be enjoying the journey and building a business, a future with people who have the same vision as you, with people who have the same interest as you, correct? But we want to take it a little step further. We also want people who are going to come into our team and who also want to grow. They want to rank advanced in their business. They want to hit Success Club in their business. And they just want to be better in everything that they do. So I just did this exercise, and I'm going to look at my notes because I want to make sure that I cover each one that I wrote down. So I understand that I have a strong why, and my why has many layers. But when I think about my ideal coach, I want my ideal coach to have the same. I want my ideal coach to just not be looking to lose 30 pounds and then say goodbye to me. I want an ideal coach who wants to lose weight, but that also has a strong, powerful why behind that. Maybe there's some diabetes, heart disease. Maybe there's an issue in her family or his family that needs to get solved, and they have a deep desire to make a change. Or maybe their community is so distraught that they want to have the influence around those people who surround them. So I want people that have a strong, deep why and a purpose in their lives for doing things that are going to make them move forward. I also want people who will drink their Shakeology every single day, that love and see the benefits of using Shakeology, because I want them to be just like me. I want them to be 365ers. I want them to see the value that comes from putting this amazing shake into your body. And I want them to experience it and to be able to share it with other people. I want them to always be on home direct. I don't want them to be inactive. I want them to always stay active. And if they love Shakeology, well, that's the problem solved, right? They will always have their status active, and I don't have to worry about that. That is part of my ideal coach. I also am looking for lifelong learners. Well, I'm a teacher and I love the idea that you never stop learning, you never stop growing. So, part of the characteristics that I look into an ideal coach is someone who is willing to learn, who's always investigating, who's always sneaking out. Okay, so, if this is this way, well, what's going to happen that way? And they're always looking and investing in personal development that will help them grow and become better people. I also am looking for people who are self-motivated. Like, you don't have to be dangling a carrot. I know I'm not like that. You show me which way I need to go. Just show me the road and I will follow the directions you just gave me, and I'm going to keep going. And if I find some questions around the way, I am going to look for Google. Google has become my best friend, and I will go ahead and search the answers. I'll go to the FAQs, and then I'll even become resourceful to my sponsor. I will become resourceful to my team. So I'm looking for that. I'm looking for those characteristics of self-motivation, self-starters, people who are inquisitive by nature and they are willing to share what they learn without any fears, because what would we have to be afraid of? I don't want to be having to remind people of why they should be doing this. That's why they should be self-motivated, right? This is a business that can be very automatic and it can be hugely independent run. So I want people who have the independent notion that they can do this without stressing over it, I also want people who can be coachable. Those are some of the characteristics that I am looking for in that ideal coach. Someone who is an open book, who is willing and accepting of positive criticism. Someone who is open to saying, okay, well, this hasn't been working, for X amount of time, so let me switch things up, right? I know that these are some of the things that I go by what I feel I have, the qualities I have, and then I build from there. I also want people who, an ideal coach is someone who is going to love the community from Beachbody, who's going to love the community of support we have in Team Eagle and in our teams. You know why? Because they attend live events. They're anxiously waiting for Super Saturday to come. Like, they're writing it down on their calendars and they're like, oh my God, I can't wait. I have so many people invited. They're coming. Oh, did you know I already booked my reservation for Summit? Like, I want people who are excited when they hear that there's a surge happening, that Carl is live. They're like, oh my God, he's my man. I gotta go find out what he's saying, because they understand that we're part of a bigger mission and we're part of a bigger thing, right? So those are some of the characteristics. I also am looking, as part of my ideal coach, someone who is willing to invest in their business, someone who is willing to invest in their personal growth, someone who wants to, go the next level. They just don't want to stay in the just getting by lifestyle. They want more in life. And of course, they have to have some type of sharing of my same interest. As you might or might not know, I was a teacher, so I attract a lot of those teachers into my business. I attract people who are faithful, who look for, biblical word, and who are looking to please God in their words and in their actions. So whatever passions you have, that's what you're going to be looking for as your ideal coach. I want you to take this opportunity and list your characteristics of what an ideal coach will be. So if you had like the beautiful visual of the ideal coach for your business, for your team, what would that coach look like? What would they want to be in their future? Do they like Shakeology? Are they fitness junkies? Are they looking for exercise as their outlet, you want to share that with us, because when we share with each other, we learn. And that's the other piece also. I don't want people who are holder backers. And that's something that I have adopted from Mickey. And I don't hold back. I've learned to accept whatever comes my way and give it back, because it's not mine to keep. So now, once you have that ideal coach in your mind and you know what you're looking for, so how are you going to use that to develop the prospects of your challengers to become those people? Because we understand that they may come to you and they're not exactly how you envision them for your future team, right? So the goal is to kind of like season the pot and put them in that crock pot. Because since we have a crock pot business, not a microwave, you want to start planting in those seasonings, right? That are going to turn them into that ideal coach. But it starts with you. It starts with the conversations you're having with your coaches. It starts with conversations that you're having with your challengers and even with your prospects. Like, you want to follow the 5-step process. And in that process, you want to interject empowerment. You want to let them know that they can do anything they set their mind to. You want to be that motivating voice that tells them, you know what, you're going to get this done. You want to be the one that shows them the light of success. You want to speak to them in a language that tells them, you know what, you're not going to do this half-ass. You're going to do this in an all-in attitude, because I did it. I can prove to you that if you go all in, you're going to see results. You want to start from the beginning, planting seeds so that they can fall in love with Shakeology. You want to share like recipes, but you also want to show them how useful it is for you to apply Shakeology in your daily life. You want to have, when you get these conversations had with your challengers and prospects, you want to say to them, listen, I want you to track exactly how you're feeling right now. And I want you to look back and tell me how you're feeling after a few days using Shakeology, because you want them to visually see, feel, and attach an emotion to how they're experiencing the process, the journey. And that's going to make it easier for them to go ahead and share it with other people. You also want to be sharing personal development, because you want people to be in this learning and growth momentum, right? But it starts with you. You are in control of this area. What I like to do is I listen to personal development every single day. So I share my personal development aha moments in my challenge groups. I sometimes share my podcast links to even my prospects. I can be thinking of a prospect in the moment and I heard a Chalene Johnson podcast. I go ahead and I share that in my messenger or in my inbox emails with people, and I'll say, I thought of you and I think you should listen to this. If they spoke about procrastination, if they spoke about never finishing anything, whatever comes about, YouTube links of like the 2-minute motivation talks, you can send that to someone and say, hey, I was thinking about you. I hope you find this helpful. Have a beautiful day. And that is going to plant the seed that, the day I listened to that, it made a shift in my mind. Let me go seek more personal development. And that's how you start to plant it. You want to also develop a sense of independence. You create files in your groups. You create answers to most frequently asked questions. Tag your coaches, tag your challengers in those files and let them go and seek the answers. Sometimes you may say, you know what, why don't you go ahead and create yourself a board? And when they share with you something that they found, can you please share that in the group? I think that would add so much value to what's happening, X, Y, and Z. Because you want to create independence. You do not want to babysit any single person in your team because you have enough responsibilities to start with. So you want to create a system in which they're going to commit to the process. They're going to invest in their own journey, but they're going to put an all-in effort, and that comes by the way that you empower them to use the tools that are provided for them and that for them to see success, right? You want to also ask for permission, and you want to share their stories on your wall, on your Facebook wall, on your Instagram, on whatever platform you're using as your social media. You want to share their weight loss success. You want to even share the fact that they've been encouraging in your groups. You want to share with your audience that so and so just started this group with you, and you're excited because they're moms just like you. They're busy and they're looking for a change in their lifestyle. You know why? Because this opens their eyes to say, "Oh, she looks at me like someone who has something that can motivate other people." A lot of people don't get that from their coworkers or their family members, but they can get it from you. You want to share when they have a transformation. Don't just say, "Here is Juanita. She lost 15 pounds using 21-day fix." Go ahead and give people a little snapshot. You don't have to go and put in all the dirty laundry out there, but give them a little snapshot of who she was when she came to you and who she has become, and just share one or two sentences that share with people something that can connect with them. She's a busy mom, a full-time employee. She finds the time to press play for 30 minutes from the comfort of her own home. And because of that, she has lost 30 pounds and is on her way to inspiring other people to do the same. Boom, bow, right? Now, you also want to ask for help. So for us, the ones who are going on the cruise, I've already sent messages to people in my challenge groups, and I've told them, listen, I'm going to need your help. I'm going to be away on a cruise, and I will not have a lot of connection with Wi-Fi. So I'm going to need for you to help me host and keep the fort down. And I'll send the message to like 3 or 5 of my coaches and prospects and challengers. Why? Because that gives them a sense of responsibility. That shows them that you value them and care enough about them, that you're entrusting your place, your safe haven, and you're putting it in their hands. So they're going to value it, and they're going to come up because they want to impress you. Perhaps they want to give back what you've given to them. So you want to create that relationship. You want to co-host a call. You want to ask them, I'm hosting a call for X, Y, and Z, and I would love it if you just shared your 2-minute stories of what Beachbody has done for you. Get them engaged in the things that you're doing and get them to step out of their comfort zone. Remember that the biggest things that happen in our lives happen outside of our comfort zone. But unless someone invites us to step outside of that comfort zone, we really never do, because we think, I don't need to do that, or I'm not capable of doing it. And then when we do it, we realize, oh my God, I was able to do it. I can do it. So you want to invite them to a sneak peek. You want to invite them to your coach opportunity, but behind the scenes, you want to be building up their self-esteem. You want to be empowering them and letting them know that they have value. Now, I know I've said a lot of information, and I want to leave you with a call to action today. What I would love for you to do is take some time and jot down the characteristics and the qualities of your ideal coach. I want you to write it down and share it below. If you don't share it, you're being a holder-backer. If you don't share it, you're not an active learner. If you don't share it, you're not willing to duplicate your process. I know it's painful, I know it is, but it takes that little courage to go ahead and do so. So don't just watch on the side and be like, I'll get it done. Do it, because it's going to be amazing for you to list those qualities that you're looking for. I also want you to go a step further, and I want you to think about, how am I going to work these tips that Unides has shared with us into my challenge groups, into my coach personal team page? How am I going to use, these tips in my groups? And mention 1 or 2 below, right below after your ideal coach description. And how will you implement your sense of Beachbody and Team Eagle in your daily conversations? Maybe it is, hey girl, did you know Super Saturday is coming up? I would love it if you attend. Or Maybe you have a fit club coming up and you want someone to come and join you. Go ahead and share what are you going to do to invite your challengers and your prospects into your Beachbody culture. Because at the end of the day, these are the things that made you fall in love with the journey. This is what made you believe that you were in the right place at the right time. So why not share it with other people? We have something amazing in our hands. We just have to believe in ourselves and believe that others that are coming to us because we have offered them the support they need. Okay? So I would like for you to have an amazing Monday and to continue having an amazing week. And let's rock this push. I know I am so excited for everything that is going to come out of this, because all together, if we keep pushing the way that we are and establishing and putting to action everything that we are learning, we're not going to only attract ideal coaches. People are going to be seeking for us to mentor others, because that's how big and purposeful our lives are. All right, guys, have a fabulous day. Bye-bye.